Greetings, Cover Killer Nation. It is now time for us to talk about one heck of an album release of the reggae department, and, well, I am definitely prepared for this. I have this right here, which I'm not going to disclose what is inside. I have my dreadlock. My dreadlocks! What has happened to my dreadlocks? Oh, for the love of Jah. I tried my best, folks. Yeah, you're probably going to laugh at me for reviewing this. You're probably going to think, the fuck are you thinking? But I had to do it. This is fun. That's what this whole album reviewing thing is all about. If it was all serious business, you guys would hate me. Gotta always, change things up a little bit. Reincarnated by Snoop Lion. You guys don't know who Snoop Lion is? Of course you do. You know who Snoop Lion is. You know him very well, actually. Snoop Doggy Dogg. In the 1990s was a huge part of the rap movement that really swept the nation and is partially responsible to why rap is as big as it is today. Now, of course, as we know, I thought that was by Weed Man. As we know, Snoop Lion has changed his name because he took a tour down to Jamaica, I believe it was, and really found himself very involved and very interested in Rastafarianism, and has been reborn, so to speak, as a Rastafari, and Snoop Lion reflects that transformation, and Reincarnated is that album of reggae music that he is putting out. Now, from what I understand, he has since changed his name back to Snoop Dogg, that way he can still release rap. I'm assuming that it's almost going to act like a bit of a side project or its own independent project. So anything that he does that's more of the reggae persuasion, he will probably release as Snoop Lion, just like anything that he releases that's more of the rap persuasion, he will release as Snoop Dogg. Now, whenever I decided to pop this in, I thought to myself, this is probably going to be pretty funny. And I've heard a couple of songs off of this before I reviewed, or before I listened to the album for the review. And I actually really enjoyed Lighters Up. I thought it was really, really cool. It had a very nice vibe to it, and definitely had a lot of reggae awareness. I'm not necessarily going to sit here and say that reggae music seems all of that hard to create. There's definitely just a chill vibe to it. There's definitely a very nice presence of bass. There's a nice presence of some soft guitar, be it acoustic or otherwise. And there's just a myriad of instruments that reggae artists have been able to use to their advantage throughout the years. Of course, many people will definitely cite Bob Marley as the reggae artist that they know the best. However, if you considered some of his sons, such as Ziggy Marley, or Big Gong Marley, or Little Gong Marley, rather, and then you consider someone more modern of the Jewish descent, actually, as Matisyahu, or Mariashu, however that you choose to say it, you'll know that reggae actually does have a presence today, as they have in the past. But Snoop Lion is definitely one of the bigger names to really try their hand at reggae music, and this is definitely going to bring about one heck of a splash in the reggae scene, and in the music scene in general. Now, there are various guests on this album that kind of lend their own style to it, and some of them are going to be reggae artists, while others are going to be rappers or even pop musicians. We even have Miley Cyrus on a track on this album entitled Ashtrays and Heartbreaks, in which her voice actually does not ruin the song. I was very surprised about that, because I figured that Miley Cyrus being on this just does not seem right at all. You would think that she would want to not blow her cover as to potentially being into the smoking the weed. However, she's on there, and she actually is able to blend with this idea quite well. It actually makes you wonder what the hell Miley Cyrus is going to do next with her music, considering her last album, which kind of tried to convey her as more of a sexual symbol, Can't Be Tamed, really fell on deaf ears. But then you also consider artists such as Angela Hunt, who's on a number of albums on here. Mr. Vegas, Collie Buddz is on Smoke the Weed, which is probably one of the best tracks on the album. Track number 8. In fact, it's to the point where I thought, because I listened to this in my own store, I thought that I was going to have to skip this song because of the obvious drug references in there. But as the song came on, I was in the midst of doing other things in the store, and no one minded, no one noticed. In fact, everybody really dug it and was really into it. I actually sold a couple of copies of the album as I was listening to this in my own store. And that, to me, definitely showcased that a lot of other people listened to this and thought to themselves, damn, Snoop Lion did a fantastic job incorporating this into his style. Snoop still sounds very laid back and chill. The only real complaint that a lot of people will have is that he definitely tries to present a bit of a faux Jamaican accent on here, or a faux reggae accent, however you wish to convey that, and it does get a little bit laughable at times. You know, he's so laid back and he's so chill that he almost didn't need to do that at all, but I understand that that's probably just something that happens as you listen to this music. Even if you're listening to Bob Marley, I know that there's definitely a voice in the back of your mind that whenever you're about to make a sentence is screaming at you, don't talk like you're Jamaican! Don't talk like you're Jamaican, man! See, my voice was not silent at the beginning of this recording, as it wasn't right there. Here Comes the King is kind of a good track. Lighters Up is fantastic. And, you know, as you go on, you see a name like Drake on No Guns Allowed, and you think to yourself, this is actually a point in time where this album could take a sour turn, because whenever it comes to Drake, I am definitely not a fan. I believe that he is, if he's hoping to be the next Lil Wayne, he should just stop hoping that. But he actually lends a very cool element to this song. You know, his rhyme is very chilled, very laid back, and it does not bog down the song whatsoever. In fact, it enhances it a little bit. That's the thing with these special guests. There's a lot of enhancement here. With Tired of Running, it has Akon on it, and I definitely am not a big fan of Akon. And on this track, it's not, you know, terrible. But once again, I can't sit here and complain about it and say that it's really a bad thing. Busta Rhymes is on this track along with Chris Brown. I'm not a big fan of Chris Brown and his singing on that track, but Busta Rhymes, wow. I remember why I liked Busta Rhymes all these years. I remembered why The Coming is one of my favorite rap albums of all time, because Busta is definitely a dynamic individual. He definitely brings a lot to the table. He brought what he could to this table, and they ate very, very well. I gotta say, for thinking I was just going to laugh at this, to think I was just going to really, you know, get a nice hearty chuckle or just kind of shake my head at this, I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would. It's one of those things that it makes you want to get in a room with a couple of people, do some illicit substances, and listen to Snoop Lion. I'm not going to review this with a score because, I mean, fuck it, yes I will. 4.20 stars out of 5. No, I'm just doing that for shits and giggles. Listen, if you like this kind of thing, if you're into reggae, if you know you like Snoop Dogg as a rapper, give this a shot. I'm being serious here. You know, I know a lot of you guys are into the metal stuff and you really don't venture very much outside of that unless it's a guilty pleasure, but this could actually be a guilty pleasure for you, especially if you get toke. Very chill album, very cool. I was not expecting this, and it was a lot of fun. It was legitimately a lot of fun. So check it out.